Here's a segment from a recent Gun Talk radio episode. You can listen to all the Gun Talk radio podcasts however you tune in, or check out guntalk.com for more. They say, let's talk to Ken in Medford, Oregon on one there. Hey, Ken, thank you for your patience. So we're talking about everyday carry. What's on your belt?
Well, I have an HK VP9, and the round of choice for this gun is the Hornady Critical Defense.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to smile when I heard your caller talking about that the wife shot one round, one type of ammunition, and the husband shot the other type.
Uh-huh.
I've been reloading since I was in my teens. My dad started me off reloading way back. And I have 17 guns. And it took me a long time to find out it's not so much about what ammunition I like, it's what my gun likes.
Right.
Yep.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
And I have tried every combination since I got this VP9 to find out what the gun likes.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, that is the Hornady Critical Defense. Not the Critical Duty. It doesn't like that one, but it likes Critical Defense. I've tried the Sig Sauer Deep Crown.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried the Hornady XTP. I've tried the Federal. I've tried the Winchester. And then I've also tried loading my own. And if Hornady would give up what they're using for powder in the Critical Defense, I'd load those myself.
Yeah, well,
Bad
you know,
chance.
part of the problem is what they're using you can't buy because they're not using canister powders. They're using something's made up for them in huge monstrous batches, and it's not the same as what you can buy. Now I got to ask you, what was the difference when you say your gun likes the Hornady Critical Defense? How much difference was there in the size of the groups between the ones that didn't work well and the ones that did?
Well, the ones that didn't work well would be using the NRA small bore 100-yard target at 21 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them that didn't work really well, not all of them were in the black.
Oh.
That's...
The Critical Defense being the best, which is what I like, I can cover 15 shots pattern with a 50-cent piece.
Well, that would be better.
That's kind of what I thought.
More better.
So if they don't stay in that close range situation, I find something that will, and I tried them all, and I've even tried reloading my own, and that's the kind of accuracy that I want.
Well, and what's interesting about the process, and I know you know this, Ken, is that in the next gun you try may not like the Critical Defense and may like one of the other ones better.
I have two 45 long Colts. I have two 44 Magnums, and then I also have I had three 30-30 rifles, and they all like something different. And one of them was a Winchester on the 30-30, and all three of them like something different.
Weird.
Well, I was just going to mention that not only can it be so different for him changing from gun to gun, but it can be that different for him owning one versus his wife owning the same exact gun.
That's what I was going to ask you,
yeah. With the same ammo and it not shoot well for her. It's crazy how that stuff happens.
Yep, it is. Now, how did you decide on the VP9?
Well, I had tried several other pistols. My hand is broken from an automobile accident, and I had to have surgery on it. And I always wanted the 1911, and I thought that was the coolest thing. But it just doesn't work well with my hand. And I had a friend of mine that is a federal investigator, and he discovered the VP9, and he bought one, and he took me out to the range and says, "You got to try this gun." And I thought, okay, I'm up to that.
Yeah.
And I went out, and I took his gun and put in a pattern of less than 2 inches at 15 yards. And he said, "You can't shoot my gun no more. With a little practice, you might be good."
Wonder what ammo he was using.
Actually, at that time, he was using the Sig Sauer V Crown. The Elite. And
That's so odd.
So it was like, I like this gun. It really felt well, and it fit my hand so well, and it has removable panels.
Right.
So change the grip so that my trigger finger is kind of bent and broken, so that I can actually squeeze the trigger rather than having to pull it.
Oh.
And by able to adjust that and the weight of the gun by itself, it fit my hand. So then it was a question of I bought one, and then I had to find an ammunition that fit the gun.
Right. And for those who don't know, this is a striker-fired gun. It's a kind of a slim double-stack pistol, but it feels, when you pick it up, it's like, man, that feels kind of a thin grip. I mean, I like the feel of them.
It is awesome. It feels like it's a single stack.
It does. It absolutely does. It's the most, I don't know, if you thought that Glocks were like the first generation of striker-fired polymer guns, and now we're many, many generations, and this represents like one of the latest generations, and they've really figured out how to get a double-stack magazine, but not make the grip so darn thick. Yeah, it just feels, and besides, it's an HK, so you got good quality product there, too.
Oh, I have not had a single failure with this gun. Even trying all the different kinds of ammunition, the only failures I've had is hitting the target.
Michelle, I never even thought about the idea of using the different size grip panels to accommodate someone who's got trouble with their trigger finger or something like this. That's an interesting aspect I've not talked about.
It's the beauty of a lot of the common guns that are out there right now, you know, being able to change out the back straps or the grip panels, whatever it might be for how they're designed. But yeah, it's perfect because it can fit a multitude of people that way. So sometimes, they normally ship them out with the standard medium size, I believe, on there, but they have a smaller size and they have a larger size. So just because it doesn't fit good right then and there, it's like, oh, well, are the back straps interchangeable? Or the pistol?
Try it.
Yeah, the grip panel's different. So, I mean, it does make a big difference. It's the same thing, you know, when Pierce pinky extensions first came out. It was like, oh. Oh my gosh, it was genius, right? Wow, my pinky fits on the magazine
that
now.
Feels so good. I have a place to put my little pinky finger now.
Right. So, yeah, it makes all the difference in the world. Kudos for him to figure all that out, though.
Hey, Ken, did you go with the smallest backstrap, or which one worked for you?
Actually, what I ended up going with is I went with the small backstrap, but I went with the medium side panel on the right-hand side, on the palm side, and actually the large one on the left-hand side.
I would always just assume you switch them both all mediums, and never thought about right and left being different. Yeah.
Huh.
Because I've been in so many gun stores, and I've been watching people, especially women, come up to buy a gun, and they put it in their hand, and they say, this just doesn't feel right, or this, I don't like this, or this feels really good. And if they had the understanding that you could actually change that a little bit, and they'll let you do it at the gun store.
Right.
If you got a really nice gun store. Some of the big box stores won't let you do it. But you can kind of change it around and say, hey, this does fit really good.
Right. Like, I like this pistol butt. Well, let me take care of that butt part.
Yeah, right. We'll fix that. Just stand by.
Yeah. It takes time, and it's definitely a patience deal.
But by finding that combination, when you've got one that fits your hand properly and you can use it properly, then all it is a matter of finding an ammunition that fits the gun.
Well, you've got all the confidence in the world in that firearm, and so you're not going to have failures.
Well,
yes.
Which
when
leads,
I pull it out, I know where it's going to go.
Which leads me to the next point, which is this, and I am a really big believer in this. When you've gone through the process that you have gone through, Ken, and figured out, a gun that you really like, I'm just going to throw this out. You might want to consider getting a second one just like it.
I've considered that. And the only thing that I'm considering with that is it possible that if I get one that is made in a different batch, that the ammunition is not going to work right for it? And I'm going to have to do it all over again.
It could even be the same batch, and that could be the case.
It's possible. Chances are it's going to be okay, but, I guess what I'm saying is that if you get a second one, now you are less concerned with the thing that always worries me is, what if they stop making that model? And that happens, and they're never going to announce it when they stop. And all of a sudden you go, but I was thinking about getting a second one. Yeah, they're not making it anymore.
Oh, sorry, we have the 9.2.
Well, when you think about that, that's kind of why I have two 45s and two 44s and three 22s of all the same kind and the same hit. Yeah, it's something that, it's just a question of I'm retired now, and I don't have a lot of disposable income. Mm-hmm. And the VP9 is an awesome gun, but it is not cheap.
It's not cheap.
It's not. You're right. I mean, and I just think it's just weird to have that many guns.
Okay, Tom. And your address is again?
No, he forgot to say on him at one time. Yeah.
I keep telling my friends that I go by the Tom Gresham rule of thumb: is you count how many you got, and you just go get one more.
That's right. I only want one more.
Because even numbers aren't good, and odd numbers are bad too. So,
well, I have 17 left. I have given away 4 to my son and 4 to my daughter and 2 to my granddaughter.
Nice.
You want to adopt me and Michelle for those other 17?
What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Hey, Ken, welcome to the family.
Oh, gosh.
So, and I still have 17 left, and I shoot them all. There's not any of them that sit around and don't get shot.
Well, and it sounds like you shoot very well, too.
I'm still able to shoot pretty well. I've had to make some modifications because of physical problems with my stupidity when I was younger.
Understand.
I've been able to get it on target. I've had a whole lot of fun. In fact, I called in a couple of times. I've had a whole lot of fun with this new, it's an H&R Buffalo Classic 4570 single shot.
Oh, cool.
Right. Fun
and coming
stuff.
up with the load for that one, and that has just been a kick in the butt. It has just been so much fun. Because I shoot black powder also. I have two 250 caliber Hawkins. One of them actually is a Sharon rifle that was made back in 1861 in Montana.
Whoa.
And then I have a St. Louis Hawken that was made by CVA. I got that back in the early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And when you were talking to the lady about the black powder, it was like, oh, come on, get through. I got to talk to her about that.
Well, Michelle is your black powder expert here, so you're talking to the black powder lady.
Unfortunately, I had a financial issue, and I had an original Hatfield 45 caliber flintlock squirrel rifle.
No.
But that one was awesome.
Yeah, it makes me wrinkle my nose.
All I have is cap locks. I don't have any flintlocks left. But I also have 5 black powder pistols, ranging from Hawken, Kentucky pistols, and then revolvers. I have the 1851 Navy. I have the 1860 Army. I have the Ruger Old Army. So I like black powder. It's a lot of fun. I started my kids at the age of 6 and 7 with black powder squirrel rifles made by CVA.
Oh.
And taught them what it's all about. You put the powder in, you put the patch and the ball in, you ram it down, you put the cap on, you shoot it, and then you clean it, and then you reload it. And it taught them a sense of taking care of their guns, and that it wasn't all about going out there like my brother did with his son, with a 22 and shooting up 1,000 rounds of ammunition and have nothing to show for it.
Yep, exactly right. Ken, we're going to have to move. I tell you, I thank you so much for your call. This has been tons of fun. Congrats on figuring out the load for your VP9 and for describing the whole process, because I think it's something that a lot of people don't fully appreciate, is that it is a process to figure out what works in your gun. So, again, thank you, sir. Be safe out there.